What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Please check the timestamps below so you can hop directly to the tarot readings for Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And do remember to like the video. Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading. Welcome to my tarot channel. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please push them aside. Do not take action on anything that feels strange or foreign. Assume the message is going out to someone else and it might just resonate for you at a later time or date. That being said, we're going to set the intention to get you a lot of helpful messages with clarity. Do remember you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice and guidance and an energy check-in. So let's do it for Gemini. What's coming through in Gemini's past? Tell me about Gemini's past, something that is of significance or importance. A big conversation, King of Swords. Someone who's a skilled communicator but isn't afraid to point out the elephant in the room. Someone who isn't bashful or, someone who doesn't hold back on the truth even if it causes some waves and makes people uncomfortable, because ultimately they do what they feel is right and true and just. And also it's like what's good for the people, what's good for the majority, what's good for everyone involved. There's a consideration of group dynamics with the King of Swords. Sometimes it can be someone who you seek counsel from. It can be like a mentor or a teacher. It could be someone who's advising you, financial advice, legal advice, something of the sort. We'll see where this goes. The impact of, well, actually, tell me a little bit more about this King of Swords. Tell me a little bit more about this King of Swords. Is there something of significance I need to know as the reader here for Gemini's reading? Oh, that kind of is coming out. So this King of Swords is contemplating their options. I don't know if this is you, Gemini. It might be. Deciding how you feel about something. Whenever the Seven of Cups comes out, I like to sort of go down the path of it's Venus and Scorpio energy, right? Every card has a planet connotation in the zodiac sign. So water energy, it's always the water signs, right? It's cups. In Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio, it's like Venus wants to harmonize, it wants to relate, it wants to mingle, it wants to balance, it loves romance and connections and partnership. But it wants balance and it wants equality. And so when it's in the sign of Scorpio, which is the opposite, it's ruled by Mars, right? So Venus feels a little bit out of place in Scorpio. Scorpio wants an absolute extreme, right? Scorpio wants to go all in. It wants to be, it wants intensity, right? Whereas Venus, like, let's just take this a day at a time and balance. And, Scorpio is like all or nothing mentality. And so with that, sometimes this is a person who they want or desire to feel a very extreme feeling, and they're a little bit perplexed by it because they don't know how to feel. Or it could be someone that has emotional options and they need to use discernment on which one they're actually going to invest in or pursue. Maybe this is you, Gemini. It could be with that Earth energy. So in terms of how the past is impacting you currently, there's an offer being made. For some of you, I get the idea that this is an offer that is being made to you. So how is Gemini feeling? And feel free to reverse the roles, but I don't know. My gut reaction is that someone's coming forward to I don't know. Someone is pursuing you. How is Gemini feeling about this? What are the emotions attached to this? Or maybe you're wanting to make an offer, if you're single and looking or dating, or I guess you could look at it through the lens of job applications, whatever, take it if it resonates. It's possible that you've already decided who you're handing your heart to, and this person is kind of in decision mode. But the thing is, this is the lasting impacts of it. So if this isn't you and it's someone deciding how they feel about you, presently, it seems like you're still like, yes, like you're interested, you're extending the hand. I think you connected with someone and you see potential in wanting to build something or pursue something with them. But emotionally, you might be feeling a little bit defensive. Maybe how do I want to say this? Like a bruise to the ego that they didn't instantly know that you were the one. Yep, that's important. I felt that when I said it. Interesting. So it's not that this person didn't like you or didn't want to be with you. It's just maybe they had some other stuff going on in the background. Maybe they were still healing from an ex. And again, maybe they were expecting this, I'm going to know the right person because when they walk in the room, it's going to be love at first sight. And like, as we all know, that's not always how it goes. That, in fact, I think the more I talk to people, right, I don't think that love at first sight is a common denominator in long-lasting marriages and couples. I'm not saying it couldn't be, but I'm almost thinking you're dealing with someone who wanted to fall in love instantly, and because they didn't, they're thinking that, oh, well, maybe it's not the one, but in reality, it's like, it's actually kind of a good thing that you guys are able to take it slow and get comfortable together because you're building a more solid foundation because of it. You're not just like jumping into bed together and being like, let's get married, right? So I think there's a part of you that's a little bit like offended that, and again, maybe it's both. People we meet are mirror back to us kind of, where we're at. So I think there's a part of you that wanted this person to be head over heels in love with you and to choose you instantly. And I'm just getting that wasn't the case. That being said, emotionally, you're still totally thinking about this person. Like you're still I'm hearing that you're replaying conversations you had with them in your head. You're probably spying on them on social media. Wouldn't surprise me. And then what is Gemini's like plans here? What's going on in the mental sector? Because the feeling sector is being clouded by, what is logical. And I also think your imagination is starting to run wild about why this person didn't make an official offer to you, even though that's what you're anticipating or expecting. And I mean, Gemini, you're a pretty psychic sign. So some of you may be feeling that this person is coming back around to make you an offer. And you know what? I think you're right. Just to illuminate or enlighten them, can we get more specific why this King of Swords wasn't certain? Are we allowed to know anything more about this King of Swords and the emotional options? Was it in fact other people, or was there another circumstance preventing them from moving forward? Yeah, they were healing. They still had baggage from their ex, but I don't think they were connected with someone else. And again, it was that, I don't know, there's just this all or nothing extreme energy of love at first sight and falling in love instantly and knowing you're my soulmate instantly. It's like, it's an interesting dynamic. It's not something I would attribute to the King of Swords, but this could also be indicating that it was like a male air sign. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there. Yeah, they still had some stuff. They were hung up on somebody from their past, especially the sex stuff. Again, like a very intense, passionate connection. It didn't work out for them in the long term, and so they're not necessarily understanding that feeling that instant fire and flame and insane sexual chemistry and whatever, that's great. I'm not knocking it, but it's not always sustainable. That's important. That's very, very important. And so you may view this person as a little bit withdrawn. I think you think they're very attractive. I think you think they're charismatic, and I think you see potential in it, but it's not all the bells and whistles for you yet. And yet, you're showing up to this reading asking the questions, right? So, but emotionally, like if we pull back kind of like the butterfly mind, like the hummingbird butterfly mind, things going 1,000 miles a minute, what is the actual emotions for this person? Where are we at? I think you're still deciding. I don't think you've decided how you feel about this yet. You definitely want to have a conversation about it, though, and revisit it. You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it hardcore. All right, so then are there any plans that Gemini is making about how they want to resolve this issue? Yeah, you're kind of defensive. There's a combination of energy here. You're a little bit defensive and on the defense, like a little bit guarded, again, because something may have transpired here where they said something and it rubbed you the wrong way, and yet you're also kind of curious. You're still peeking on them. It's like you're rereading text conversations. You're rereading, I don't know, something that they sent to you. Maybe you're looking at photographs of them or your text chain or whatever. I don't know what, this is a very interesting message, Gemini. But with this, it's also like your game plan is that if this person shows up, you're willing to fight for it because you do see potential in it. That's sort of how I see this. But you're needing to come from a place of internal balance. If you let this person back into your life, and I'm not sure you were ever together. This seems kind of like maybe you met up a couple times or whatever. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting here. If you do let this person back into your life, I do think you're going to protect your heart so that you don't get heartbroken. I also think you're not going to tango with anything that disturbs your inner peace. So if this person is coming at you with weird vibes and uncertainty and just kind of off-putting energy, I think you're going to be done with it. But I think there's a part of you that wants to revisit this again to like, I don't know, to delve deeper and see what's up. Because I don't know, with Scorpio energy, like the Seven of Cups, there's something very mysterious here. There's something very intriguing, and it's like your mind wants to find out more of what was really going on. I do think this person had some stuff they were healing from. And maybe they wore that on their sleeve. Maybe they were honest and transparent about that, but I don't know if that's the case. I just don't know if that's the case. So in terms of their game plan, I think you're trying to pump yourself back up and amp yourself back up to, you know, get up back out in the dating game. I don't know. Yeah, I think your plan is that if this person is the right person for you, they're going to treat you right and come correct, so to say. It's like if you envision yourself as the Empress, right? It's like deserving and worthy of love and happiness, and, you know, attracts people who are in that same high vibration. I think you're trying to get to a point where you are embodying Empress energy, but you might still be struggling with it because maybe this person shook your confidence a little bit. What is holding Gemini back? Well, you might also be thinking about a Taurus or a Libra. What is holding Gemini back? The Fool. Interesting. So when the Fool comes up in the what needs to be released or what isn't helping, I get the idea of putting on a show, playing pretend, playing coy, pretending that you're not interested when you really are. It's a little, I'm going to be honest, Gemini, you know I love you. You know I love my Gemini gang, but this feels a little bit like playing some games. Like, it's like you desperately want this person to text you, and then when they do, you're like, hey. Like you're giving them like one-word answers. The thing is, I think you want them to explain themselves. I'm not sure this is true, but from I'm getting, there's a little bit of like aggression here, and you feel like you're owed an apology or an explanation for something that transpired. But I don't know. I think that's a lousy way to manifest or try and attract what you want is having kind of this chip on your shoulder of like, oh, hey, I haven't been thinking about them at all. And it's like, yes, you have. You're fucking stalking their Instagram. Like there's a little bit of like a pretending I'm fine energy. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're not fine, that this did actually hurt you and it rattled you a little bit. That doesn't make you a bad or weak person. It's just pointing out to you, again, mirroring areas where you maybe need to work on your self-confidence and your self-worth. And the fact that someone can say something that does shake your foundation, that's not a criticism on you, but it is showing you, areas of your life where maybe you do need to offer yourself compassion and more self-love, because ultimately, if you're embodying King of Swords, what people say about you and think about you and do, it's not ultimately going to affect you because you're cool with who you are. You know who you are. You know what you like. And with that kind of Aquarian energy, it's like, I am who I am. Love me or hate me. Like, I'm living my life authentically. I'm not out to get anyone or be the victim or be the bully or anything. But there is something a little bit untraditional and unique about the King of Swords, and leaning into that is good. To be honest, that's probably what this person liked about you in the first place, is that you are a little bit quirky and that you are a little bit different. So they like those qualities about you, but do you? Is there something that you're still hiding behind? Is there something that you're still put on, pretending to be, or not peacocking, but like it's like you don't want this person to actually see through you and actually see the vulnerabilities. And I'm hearing scar tissue. Interesting. And quite frankly, what is not helping you, what's holding you back? Acting foolish, playing games, doing like high school drama, like playing hard to get, when really it's like I'm not sure you want this person, but it does seem like you want to revisit a conversation. And so can you say that? Like, do you have to play the games? It almost feels like there's a little bit of, what is a good word for this? Both people here are very headstrong and maybe waiting for the other person to break the ice or waiting for the other person to reach out. And like, no wonder you're at a standstill, because both people are kind of hesitant to make that first move. And I'm hearing poke the bear. Because, again, maybe there was a very uncomfortable conversation or things didn't end in a great way. And you're kind of like, I don't know. It's like, am I crazy for wanting to revisit this because clearly they weren't interested in blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, though. Is there clarity with these two cards? I'm not sure how much clarity you really have. The narrative, the feedback loop in your head going on of all these possible scenarios, they can't all be true, but I definitely think you're doing some fact finding and trying to find out things about this person. I think some of you are worried that they have someone else, and I don't think that's the case. I just don't. All right, so let's see. What is going to help Gemini move forward? How do they find their willpower, their confidence? What should be their action plan? What do they need to embrace to move forward with this? You need to ask for clarity, or you need to move on and not worry about it. This is moving from, rocky waters to smooth sailing. And it is a Mercury card. It's a communication card, right? It's like when we go from 5 of Swords where we're conflicted and we're looking back and we're replaying conversations and we're feeling weird or we're feeling guilty or we're feeling selfish. And like, there's all these things going on in our brain. This is like getting clarity so that we can move on peacefully and not have these things weighing on us and like these unanswered questions. And I mean, just given that the cards, how they're coming up, part of me is going to say, I think you're going to get clarity on this. Why else would this message come up? Yeah, this turns into a bigger offer. It's like you see potential in this, and then by revisiting some sort of conversation and getting clarity, making some sort of action plan on how you want to move forward with this person potentially, right? And again, like getting off the high horse or this kind of like petty, like, well, they need to message me because they said this. And like, I'm not saying all of you are doing that, but there is a little bit of immature energy surrounding this. I'm just going to be honest with you. You guys know I tell it, right? It doesn't mean I don't respect you or like you any less, Gemini, but like there's some childish games going on here, or some stubbornness, but at the root of it, it's because you're hurt, I think you're going to move forward with this, and I think you're going to revisit this. And to be honest, Gemini, you might be the one who reaches out because it's coming up in your action plan. I'm just saying. Everybody always wants to be chased. Be the difference, be the person who actually says what they want, reach out and roll the dice, take the risk. I think this person will appreciate your honesty and forwardness in many respects. I think that they're going to appreciate that you cut your own path and you don't play by the rules of, whatever, I'm the girl, so they have to message me. And like, I think it's a badass move to put it out there and be like, hey, this is where I'm at. would you like to talk about it? It sounds so aggressive when I say it. Yeah, I don't think you need to be aggressive about it, but what if you're the one who reaches out and makes a peace offering or revisits this or sends them something nice to brighten their day, like a text or whatever. I don't know. Just an idea. The devil, yeah, what's keeping you held back? What's keeping you stuck? I mean, ultimately, the devil, we need to liberate ourselves from unhealthy behaviors, addictions, toxic relationships of any kind, even toxic relationships with ourselves. It's like we all have the shadow side, right? We all have the darkness inside of us. We're light and dark. It's both, and you have to embrace both. You can't pretend that this doesn't exist. And that's sort of what this is feeling like. It's like an immature energy that it's coming from this false place of, well, I don't need them anyway, and blah, blah, blah. But on the inside, it's like, I'm never good enough for anybody. Nobody ever wants to date me. Nobody loves me. And again, that's not true, but that's your shadow side talking. It's like you need to have a conversation with your shadow side and like sort some shit out so that you can approach this with a fresh eyes, fresh perspective. Let's see. What are Gemini's hopes and dreams regarding this situation? What are they hoping to get out of this? You might be dealing with a Capricorn. Possible. That could be interesting. A Capricorn Gemini relationship. You don't hear about that too much, but I'm sure they exist. Let's see. All right. So, gosh, there's a couple possibilities here. I know we see the death card and automatically we all start to freak out, right? I mean, yeah, death can mean endings, but I mean, the higher vibe of the death card is we want something here to change and transform, and obviously that's warranted. Something here has to change because we're both not receiving the messages correctly. There's I'm hearing something where like the input doesn't match the output. It's like what we're gathering from this isn't necessarily the reality and the truth of the situation. So it's like we just got to break bread again. We just got to have some sort of peace offering or this coming together where we actually express what's going on. And maybe at the time this person wasn't willing to be vulnerable and let you in on everything going on. or maybe they just truly didn't know how they felt and it was easier to kind of close up or ghost you, or I don't know. I don't think it's what they intended to do, but I think it's what happened. There's something very unique about this circumstance and about this person. With the Death card, ultimately, my gut reaction is you want this to transform into something more passionate, where people are coming at this with more warmth, with more curiosity, with more fun, with more youthful energy, with more spontaneity, with a little bit less rigidness and restriction. I think you want this person to kind of pull out the stops, and I think you want them to decide how they feel and take action on it. I think you're looking for transformative action in this relationship. You know, unfortunately, it's a two-way street. I mean, or maybe that's not the way to put it. There's two people involved here. So, like, you know, newsflash, you already know this. You can't control other people's actions. You can only do you. You can only do right by you. So I would offer you this, Gemini, so that you are able to get as much clarity on this as possible. I don't think you have any reason not to reach out and ask for that clarity. The worst they can say is no, or that, hey, I'm not interested, or it's not a good time. And then you have to take them at their word, because that is their answer to your confusion. That is the ultimate solution. So if that's the case, maybe the Death card is bringing an ending to something and getting your groove back and meeting the next person who's meant to be with you. Because here's the thing, the person who's going to be with you, they will eventually show up, you know, as a king or a queen or like a high court card, right? And the thing is, this person did, but like, again, like, it's complicated. It's complicated. Others of you, again, I still encourage you to reach out in some capacity, meet up, you know, grab a coffee, see what's up. There could be some sort of transformational exchange where you both are have a lot more clarity on what the other person wants and what they desire, and then you form a game plan. You form an action plan on how you're going to move forward with this. I don't know if I love this combination, but there's potential there. I don't see that as an absolute no. I mean, when the Devil card comes up, I think you both have some stuff you're still working through individually. And just to be clear, it doesn't mean that you can't put yourself out there and date and try people on. But I think you need to be realistic with what are you bringing to the table in terms of everything, the whole package, you know, your beautiful qualities as well as your baggage. Everybody has it. You can't ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, but you do need to be mindful of what you're bringing into a relationship in terms of, like, are you getting into something that you're not mentally, physically, emotionally prepared to handle? Because then you're going to end up screwing somebody over, right? You're going to be that person who's like, oh, sorry, I'm just going to ghost you because it got too real too fast for me. I think we need to be considerate and give people the benefit of the doubt that they're coming into this with an open mind and, hoping that there's going to be a nice connection and chemistry. But, it feels like maybe things got started really quickly and it got too real too soon, and then somebody felt like they had to bow out because they couldn't deal with the emotions involved. Very likely because it triggered stuff from their past. What is the outcome here? Yeah, a conversation is 1000% needed, and I'm going to say will very likely happen. I wish I could tell you who's going to reach out first, but in my honest opinion, Gemini, I think you're being asked to. I do. If you hear from this person, great, fantastic, that's awesome, but I wouldn't close yourself off to the idea that, well, I'm not going to message them. Why? Don't do that to yourself, because it's like something about this is very distracting and it feels like you can't move on without it. That's obsession. That's also like devil energy too, being obsessed with something. Oh, look, unexpected soulmates, unexpected partnership, unexpected stability comes out of a very murky, dark, confusing situation. We did have a lot of Neptune transits recently. Everything that moved through Sagittarius was squaring Neptune towards the final degrees of Sag, right? Because Neptune's sitting at 28 degrees Pisces. So I think Venus is going to be squaring Neptune, in the coming weeks or whatever. We also had a Mercury retrograde right before, I think it was right around Christmas, right? So there was a lot of confusion, but I think there could be an epiphany. I think there could be a breakthrough. I heard tag team. The Four of Wands, to me, yes, it's divine timing. It's the 1111 card. It's sometimes the soulmate card. It's sometimes the marriage card. I don't know if that applies to all of this. I will say divine timing. Sure, certainly. Four of Wands says, let's establish some stability and create a platform from which we can grow together. And I think that's what this is. It's like, you guys have to clear the air. Like, all right, so the more I look at this, this is transformative action. Both people need to come in on this and collaborate, right? We need kind of that balanced energy where we both know what we want. We both know what we desire. Maybe we're not the best versions of ourselves yet, but we're showing up real and as our authentic selves, knowing that we're going to have to work together and create some change if we want this little seed to grow and thrive and become all that it can be. I will say too, there's an unexpected outcome here for sure. Hopefully it's not that they're already married. To be honest, I wasn't really picking up on that. Because here's the thing, if this is showing up in the recent past and this truly does represent emotional options, you would already know about that because it's coming out in your reading. Maybe some of you did discover that online, but I don't think the shocking truth would be that this person is married. I just don't get that. I just don't. I think if you don't already know, I'm going to put that PS on it. I think that would be fairly easy to access in terms of finding that out. They may have flat out told you, like, I'm going through a divorce, but I'm still technically married. Like, yeah, sure, there could have been that. I think your mind is starting to wander and, again, create these scenarios of, like, why weren't they interested? And, you know, is there someone else I don't know about? I think that was going on. But I almost think this card is like, no, like, don't even, like, block that idea because, like, that's not what's going on here. I think this has to do with your own self-worth and self-respect. And again, you know, not settling for low-hanging fruit. For some of you, this relationship might not be enough to stoke your fire and keep you going and keep you happy. It might not be nourishing enough. So, you know, low-hanging fruit, just because it's there doesn't mean it's delicious. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's worth your time and effort and attention. So you may have a very important decision to make. If this person doesn't blow you out of the water, are you willing to be patient and be single and wait for a soulmate connection that actually does light your fire and just completely changes the game? I think this could be a game changer. The outcome. I don't know if it's this person. I mean, I'll be honest, Gemini, you have two kings showing up. So it's possible that, okay, here's the thing too. If this is your hopes and dreams, are you hoping, Gemini, that someone from your past comes back? Possibly a fire sign, possibly a Scorpio, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius for the fire. Like that could be it too. Like maybe this person was emotionally confused because you weren't as open as you think you are, because I don't know, maybe it shows. Maybe it shows that you're keeping your options open and that you're hoping that someone from your past shows up in your life, in which case, oh, okay, my soulmate's here, I'm good now. So like, again, what is the motivation for you wanting to be with this person? We have to ask the bigger questions here. Guys, this is complicated. This is not the first complicated reading I've had for you in a while. I feel like maybe the last one I did was okay, and then the one before that, it was the same. It was like all over the place. Gemini, what's going on? What is going on? I mean, I'm rooting for you guys. I love my Geminis. I got lots of Gemini in my chart too, but interesting. I left that one behind. 2, interesting. Choices, options, decisions. The twins. Venus and Gemini, anyone? Always 2. I am diplomatic. You have great talent for finding solutions. Your intuitive and unbiased nature allows you to see all sides of any situation. Yeah, maybe too many sides. And you advise others towards the most fair and beneficial outcome. No, I jest, but that's a cool card. I like that. We'll take one more. Oh, there it is. I didn't even have to shuffle. And then 8, I am successful. Your talent for setting and reaching goals is like no other. You are self-sufficient and capable of achieving your ambitions. 8 representing the ebb and flow, the infinite loop of creation. I am successful. So look for those numbers on, license plates, receipts, bank statements, phone numbers, mailboxes, whatever. I hope I did this message justice. This is one of those readings where it's complicated and I don't have the full picture and vision of everything going on here. So I'm only serving you with what I know about the cards, and I hope this resonates for someone out there. Earthworm. Yeah, I think there's something coming from your past that might be resurfacing, in which case it's going to make this even more complicated. I don't wish that on you, right? It's not manifest complication. I'm just... yeah, there's a lot going on here. So the bee, let's read about the bee, the bumblebee. The letter B might actually be significant or important, like somebody's initials. I'm just putting that out there for someone. Or EE. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a B. Let's try it. There it is. Okay, so earnest, hardworking, and democratic. The B personality is a delight to be around, especially when there's a team project on the horizon. Bees love to work steadily and thoughtfully until the final task is complete. They are sensitive creatures, aware of many subtleties at once. Since they're artists at heart, they usually add creative details to the overall vision. For the most part, they have a bustling, joyous personality until they're too tired from all the work, and then they gripe, and then they sting. When in balance, it means content, active, and vibrant. When out of balance, this card means overworked and annoyed. To bring it into balance, take a mini vacation. Yeah, I have no idea how that resonates to what we're talking about here, but you know, take it and run with it if it's your reading. I'm kind of curious about the earthworm. I'm kind of being told to look at that, so I'm going to honor that intuition. Let's see, earthworm. Yeah, I almost opened right to it. This feels more significant to me, and I haven't even read it yet. I just have a feeling. Shy, hesitant, reluctant to share the inner vision. We have all felt the woes of the earthworm at some point along the way. The earthworm indicates a newbie or novice working to establish confidence in a new field. Others around you may seem wise and experienced, but it's important to remember they once felt earthworm energy too. This card is a reminder not to be intimidated or to lose hope. Mystery takes time, and you're on the right track. Besides, rumor has it, a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insight. When in balance, this card means earnest, intelligent, and valuable. When out of balance, it means self-conscious and apprehensive. Yeah, I feel that in this reading. To bring this card into balance, remember to speak up, risk embarrassment. Yes. Okay, Gemini, that's what I got for you. Guys, please remember to like the video. That helps me a lot. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye. Hello, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading. Welcome to my tarot channel. We're going to read your tarot cards. So please do come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, the desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, that's totally fine. Please do push them aside. Assume they're going out to someone else, but be open-minded that they may resonate for you at a future time or date. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is an energy check-in, optional advice and guidance. So do with it as you like. Please do trust your own intuition above all else. Let's do it for Virgo, setting the intention. Let's get Virgo some clear, helpful, insightful messages. What's going on in the past for Virgo? Commitment, or something with spirituality, finding your faith. There could be something with marriage coming through here. This is in the past. Taurian energy. I'm hearing teaching. For some of you, a teaching opportunity or learning and educational opportunity. Interesting. Possibly something with marriage. Commitment to something that you love, whether it's a person, place, or thing. What is the impact, the lasting impact of something that went down in the past? What is the impact of this Queen of Cups and the Hierophant? Soulmate energy. Yeah, this feels like it's about love. Good for you, Virgo. So far, your cards are amazing. I love that. We'll see. We'll see why it's coming up in your reading. So in the recent past, you have the card of commitment with the Queen of Cups. So I don't know if you're being represented as the Queen of Cups. That's possible. But it could just be someone who holds a lot of love for you. And with Taurian energy, right, it's fixed earth. You're a fellow earth sign, right? You're mutable earth. Taurus is fixed earth. So it's like, we're going to maintain it. We're going to commit to it. It's going to be steady. It's going to be slow. It's going to be consistent, but it's going to be reliable. And over time, it's going to grow. Things add up over time, right? And then in terms of how it's impacting you, you have a wonderful card here. This is the soulmate card. It's the 1111. It's the divine timing. Frequently, it can denote starting from some sort of I'm hearing the word stability. Having some sort of stable ground, some sort of start that denotes stability. But with that, because it's wand energy, that fire energy, it says that it's only going to grow from here. It's only going to go up from here. So it's like the start of something that has huge potential into the future. A lot of times it does have to do, it can be a marriage card. If sometimes for me, it's more like moving in together or reaching some sort of milestone in a relationship, whether it's, your 6-month anniversary or your 10-year anniversary. It's reaching some sort of milestone, and it's very celebratory energy. So this feels lovely. Absolutely lovely. What are the emotions that Virgo has regarding the situation? What's going on emotionally in the present right now for them, given that they're coming off of what feels like some sort of high, like connecting with your person, finding your person? Hold on, guys, my phone is ringing. Hey, Virgo, sorry about that. Here we are, back to your emotions. How are you feeling about this? What's going on in Virgo's emotional space? How are they feeling? Ooh, a lot of cards. Wanting to make an offer, wanting to move forward, I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race, but want to progress this in a meaningful, positive way. Wanting to serve this person in a greater sense. This is a Virgo card, right? Knowing that it's going to take work and dedication, but manifesting the life of your dreams with this person. At least this is how you're feeling. I think you're seeing huge potential for this to be the one if they aren't already. Some of you may be feeling like it's time to invest in something much bigger than, I'm hearing much bigger than yourself. So maybe, investing in the two of you building a life together. Maybe you're investing in like a large ticket item. Maybe you're investing in a property. Maybe you're doing house repairs. Maybe you're planning to pay for a wedding or a dream vacation. It's feeling like you may have to spend, I don't know if it's spend money. That's one version of this, but I'm almost getting like, it's going to be worth it. Like it's going to be worth the investment, knowing that you're going to reap the reward of this for many, many years to come. But a lot of earthy energy. So it's like the idea of planting a seed. It's like willing to sort of nurture it and grow and develop it together and give it that strength, that support that it needs to succeed. Maybe it's starting a family for some of you. It's earthy energy coming up in the feelings, but I do like that because earth and water they coincide together. They work well together. So, and I say the water because that sort of rules our feelings. So emotionally, it feels like you struck gold, like you're on the right path. You're feeling like this could be a win. Just to offer you sort of another perspective, if this isn't romantic, this could be feeling like you're joining some sort of job, some sort of institution, some sort of long-standing company or opportunity where it feels like you've met your people, like you're with your quote-unquote soulmates, and maybe you see a very long road ahead for you here that's going to positively impact you and your life, your future, your wealth, your well-being, your happiness. Feeling just tickled inside. So what is Virgo's ambitions? What are their plans? What's going on in the mental sector for Virgo? Yeah, this is the start of like a beautiful beginning. There's a freeing energy to the Fool. It's like hitting reset. It's pure, it's innocent, it's untainted. In theory, nothing has really gone wrong. This is like the start of a really big, grandiose adventure, and like you have limitless possibilities. You have limitless potential. The world is your oyster. Sometimes it does mean taking for Virgo, I always want to say a calculated risk, but taking some sort of risks, taking some sort of leap of faith, right? Maybe taking the road less traveled, maybe spending time doing something that is atypical of your history, your trajectory, your path up until now. This is like entering into a new phase, but I think you're entering it into the long term. It's not kind of this free-floating, hopeless romantic, wishy-washy. There's actually a game plan here, but your game plan allows for flexibility and for things to sort of take it a day at a time and see what comes in. I think I'm hearing the word yield. Like you're going to yield a lot from this. It's like your mind is free, if that makes sense. You're no longer in the mental prison of trying to figure out every detail or wondering where you stand or if this person likes you or if you're good enough. It's like, there's like a freeing sense. It's very childlike. It's very pure. It's very innocent. It's opened in its heart chakra, right? It's open to possibilities, open to the world. So, this is a killer spread. Can we just stop here? No. And so if this isn't your story and you're just interested, right, that's valid. I always say if the cards are coming out on the table, the energy is available to you, Virgo, so you can manifest this. If this isn't your life right now, if this isn't your reality and you're liking what you're seeing and what you're hearing, make it yours. You have no reason not to. You have all the capabilities to do that. So if anything, what is holding Virgo back? From what I get from this is a change in the course of your destiny. I don't have the Tower card here, but with Uranian energy and Aquarian energy coming through, there could be some sort of unexpected news or surprises. but not in a bad way. I think whatever this is, maybe you didn't totally see it coming, but I also get the message that you've been working your way towards this since forever. Like you've absolutely earned this and deserve it and have desired it. But I think maybe there was a part of you that thought you were going to have a different lot in life, or that you sort of quote unquote married or committed yourself to some other path or some other person. And so when this comes in there, I think there's like this new awakening of like, you know, this feels so right. It feels like the answer is yes. It feels like the door is being opened for me and there's like an ease to this, that maybe something that I was struggling to fit into my life, something that I was struggling to force, you know, granite rock, maybe that was never meant to be the plan. Maybe that was a stepping stone. Maybe that was an in-betweener. I don't know if it's a job or a person or whatever. But I think with the star, what's holding you back is like, for some of you, not all of you, but particularly if you have any fixity in your chart, you know, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, having the fixed vision versus, as we said, having a more flexible open-mindedness to what the future is going to hold, that would be a better approach. And you are ultimately a mutable sign. So with mutable signs, the goalposts change. The goalposts shift a little bit, and that's as it's supposed to be. It's mutable. It's in flux. It's changeable. It's adaptable. I think I'm hearing the word demise. I'm not trying to put that into what I'm trying to say, but I understand it. I hope you do too. Like the downfall to your plan up until now has been a fixity of things are going to go exactly this way and look exactly like this. And the universe says, no, they're not, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be great. In fact, I think the universe is like, I'm going to do you one better, but you kind of have to get off your, I'm hearing the word high horse, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. You kind of have to get it out of your head that you know how everything is going to go from here, because you don't. There's going to be a lot of very fun and unexpected surprises along the way. But I think the universe is saying, do you trust me? What is that from, Aladdin? Yeah, isn't it when he's grabbing Jasmine for the carpet ride? It's like, do you trust me? I think that's what the universe is doing to you, Virgo. It's like, I got a lot of good things in store for you, but do you have faith that I'm going to lead you to the right path? Like, you're co-collaborating with the universe here. It's not just you making the plans. It's like the universe is going to mirror back what it is that you want and what it is that you desire and what it is you're trying to manifest. But yeah, loosey-goosey, baby. Be flexible. Allow for good things to come in. Allow for changes to occur. To me, this isn't a bad card. This is actually a wonderful card. It's about aligning to your destiny. The star in the sky, right? You haven't been forgotten. Like I said, if this isn't your story yet, manifest it. This energy is available to you. But I think what's holding you back is the fixity of how things. It's like what you wanted when you were 5 years old. Maybe things didn't quite turn out that way, but it doesn't mean that they're not absolutely wonderful and great or are going to be, right? But I also think that's important too in the energy of manifesting, not being always future oriented or future focused, being present, living in the now, and understanding like, everything I need right now is available to me. Like happiness exists when I choose to embrace it. Like you have availability to be happy right now. It doesn't have to be 5 years from now or when I'm married or when I have my dream job. You know what I mean? I think you have to manifest in that energy of like living your best life currently, knowing that good things are still going to come into you. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, letting your guard down, challenging yourself to get out of your comfort zone, which can be hard. It can be hard, especially for a Virgo, right? Getting out of the safety zone, the comfort zone, taking some sort of, again, calculated risk. I think calculated is important for Virgo. Moon in Sagittarius says there's an instinct that you need to go explore and adventure somewhere else. But why are you blocking your blessings? Why are you denying that? Why are you questioning your own impulses and instincts and intuition? Again, fear mentality might be it. Wounded warrior, the idea that, well, I took a risk once and it didn't work out, so I'm just going to, I'm going to reside in the safety zone for the rest of my life. Of course you're not. You know you can't do that, right? But Moon in Sagittarius, it craves knowledge. It craves exploration. It craves growth, essentially. And with this card, I always think it's important to ask, who are you asking permission from to live your life? And more or less, who are you giving up your power to, right? Jokingly, I always say, this he's been assigned to watch the fence, stay guarded, whatever he's doing here, right? And it's like, I got to go to the bathroom, but like, I don't want to tell anyone, or who do I ask? Is it okay if I leave my post here to go? It's like, no, you just go. Like, it's your life. You're in control. You have the power. So if you're handing over your power to your boss, to your family, to your spouse, to whoever, there needs to be an adjustment, because like you're giving up your personal freedom. Do you understand what I mean? I think that's important when I see the Nine of Wands. So just putting it out there. you are the power player in your own life. You are the leading man. You are the leading lady. So show up and act like it, right? That's going to give other people the cues on how to treat you, including the universe, right? So what is the action that will help move Virgo forward? What is the action? What is the action? I don't know why, just because of that one card. Yeah, there's that tower, the unexpected energy. I think this is unexpected blessings, though. Unexpected healing, opportunities to heal. Yeah, some sort of reunion of some kind, too. For some of you, it's family. That's a very important message here, too. If you've had difficulties embracing your upbringing, your childhood, your family, and of course, there has to be a want and a need and a desire, too. But for some of you, if you're looking to mend fences, build bridges, however you want to say it. And maybe it's with certain members of the family, especially siblings. There's a really great opportunity to heal that may come at a very unexpected time. Someone may reach out to you with an apology, a peace offering, an offering of love, and wanting to establish better harmony and balance. Also, with that Sagittarius card, I'm not sure how to place it in this reading, but Sagittarius energy is around you, and there may be a good teacher, mentor, professor, spirit guide, influencer, something about Sagittarian energy. It's hot and it's available to you right now. There might be a Sagittarius who's interested in you, or it might, I don't know, it's like a best friend or someone who's going to help. I don't know. They encourage you to be the best version of yourself. I don't know who that is, but it's important. So look up those birthdays of the people in your soul tribe. All right, what's going to help Virgo move forward? Sagittarius will, in some capacity. And I don't know why I'm saying that. I just feel it. I'm supposed to tell you that. So what else? How is Virgo going to find their willpower to move through the situation? What's going to help them move forward? The Wheel of Fortune. Again, the message is roll the dice. Take some sort of risk. And again, you're accountable and responsible for it, right, Virgo? But own it. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Really think about that. What's the worst that can happen? Especially for Virgo, don't let criticism or the fear of other people's judgment or non-approval stop you from doing what you want to do. Haters gonna hate, and ultimately when you align to your truth and what you believe in, you're gonna find people, in your soul tribe. You're gonna find people who reflect that back. So like, you'll find your people, but it may take a little bit of searching. It may take a little bit of digging. Some of you big travel opportunities in your future. And it doesn't have to be world travel. I also think like the idea of mental travel, sort of like delving into books and concepts and philosophies and religion and spirituality. It's like things that sort of change your perspective on life. It's like the expansion and growth of your mind. And putting yourself out there for people to see, being very visible, being able to kind of like step into the light a little bit more, which that can be a struggle for Virgo too, just like the being seen and authentic, and not having that like, not paranoia, but that fear, that intimidation, or that self-preservation of I was getting like mental prison, like Eight of Swords, like not feeling safe stepping outside the comfort zone. Hopes, dreams, wishes. What is Virgo hoping to get out of this? I do think a lot of you are looking to progress in a romantic relationship, to maybe combine forces with who you feel is your soulmate. Again, planning some sort of important trip or travel or wedding or union. Hopes and dreams. What is Virgo hoping to get out of this? Hopes and dreams, please, for Virgo. To get over your internal conflict, whatever, like the fire in your belly. I don't see this as a negative. I think there's something inside of you that is restless and it needs to be worked through. It needs to be exorcised, I'm jokingly, but I'm using the word exorcism, like whatever, the fire in your belly, what's getting you all agitated but excited and fired up. It's like a playful energy that needs to be expressed. I have to be honest, guys, I don't know how this fits in, but it sort of does if this is romantic and maybe it's early on in the game. Maybe if you're approaching somebody with a conversation about wanting to lock it down or be a couple or make it official, there's also like some sexual tension here too. It's like a little bit of feisty and fiery and ooh, like it's spicy. It's spicy. I'm going to say that. So some of you may be looking to improve your sex life or be more passionate, be more expressive in terms of what you want and meeting your I'll say romantic needs in general. Some of you feel like you need to step up your game. You need to enter the competition without fear in your heart. I think that's important. Knowing that everybody here is an equal player. Just because someone's already doing what you want to be doing, it doesn't mean they're better than you. If anything, you could look at them as a mentor, like they're going to pass knowledge on to you. But I think looking at people as our competition is and this is my perspective, right? I mean, the cards are telling me what to say here, but there's always going to be someone who can contradict this. But looking at other people as our competition is not necessarily the most healthy mindset. Because I think it can stimulate and bring out feelings of aggression. Even if it's quote unquote healthy competition, I would just be careful of that. That's really the only thing I wanted to guide you there. But for most of you, this is being able to express your passion more freely, and again, not caring what other people think, relieving yourself from the fear of judgment. So what is the outcome for Virgo here? The outcome for Virgo? It hasn't been decided yet. This is very like High Priestess vibes to me. Like, it's a secret. We're not going to tell you yet. For now, so I'm going to say this. Divine timing is at play here. So in a sense, you don't need to worry about it because like it's already been written in the stars, sort of. But I think you trying to pry open the information and know everything about the larger pieces of the puzzle, that's where you got to leave it up to the divine. And again, you have to have some faith in order to manifest this or bring it into your life. I don't know if I want to say sooner, but to show up and be ready for it, you need to make sure that you're internally balanced. And so whatever this is, again, that fire in your belly, that I don't know if it's a nagging feeling or it's just something you feel like you need to do, but you're still kind of working up the guts and the courage to move forward to it. I think you need to figure out how you're going to approach that and move forward with it because you still seem a little bit on the fence or contemplative. Like in the cards, it's like, we know exactly what you want. We can see it with clarity. But then when it comes to it, like your action card is you need to move, you need to grow, you need to take a leap of faith. But the outcome is like, oh, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. So the minute you start giving the universe the signs that you are ready to tackle this and put in the energy and the action and move forward with what you want, things are going to start to open up. But like it sort of rests in your hands right now because I think the universe is sensing your hesitation. And so they're hesitating. I say they, spirit guides, God, universe, source. Like, are you ready to truly wrap up this cycle of your life and move on or move into the next chapter with no rules? Like I'm hearing unwritten, like it's unwritten. This is a blank slate. This is a clean start. You can make this life whatever you want it to be, but you have to believe that that's possible. And some of you are still kind of getting on board with that idea that, again, like you are the power player in your life, no one else. I think a lot of you have been very susceptible to the preachings and teachings of other people and took them on as the ultimate truth. And this is how you live your life and this is how things should be. And there can be a conformity, right, with the Hierophant. But some of you are starting to realize, like, I don't fit that mold. I'm different. Like, you may feel like you're the black sheep of the family, or you may feel like I really went like I'm really taking the road less traveled here. And I think there's an adjustment period of getting comfortable with who you are and being in your own skin and being an individual and maybe understanding like I don't have to be who my family wants me to be or who they thought I was going to be. And it does take a huge amount of bravery to go towards what you view as valuable. All right, angel number for Virgo. Angel numbers for Virgo. Look for it on license plates, receipts, mailboxes, bank statements. I don't know. What is the number that Virgo may want to look out for? A confirmation from the universe that they're on the right path. I just heard see the magic. See the magic. I don't know what that means, but I heard it. All right, 14. I am practical. Such a Virgo card. You are open-minded and always up to try something new, yet you are wise enough to stop and think before you jump into things. And yeah, so maybe this is very necessary. This pragmatic approach helps ensure your time, attention, and efforts are meaningful. Yeah, absolutely. If nothing else, make sure it's meaningful. Otherwise, why are you doing it, right? 2, I am diplomatic. 2 of Swords, Libra energy. I gotta do it. You have a great talent for finding solutions. Your intuitive and unbiased nature allow you to see all sides of the situation and advise others towards the most fair and beneficial outcome. A lot of you don't know it yet, but you're going to step into some sort of mentoring role or teacher role or supervisor role, passing on wisdom, passing on your own expertise. That's something that Virgo is tremendously good at. You know, they have a lot of experience. You know, they're such they're such great workers in any sense of the word. And so like you have so much to share with the world, but do you view yourself of being of value where you add value to other people's lives? I mean, I hope you do. I think most of you know that, but you know, gentle reminder. Yeah, some of you, it's like you're going to be a fabulous teacher in some capacity, even to your own children, right? Mentor, wisdom, knowledge, passing on knowledge, leaving your legacy. All right, animal spirit card for Virgo. That came right out. The vulture. The vulture. All right, let's read about that. Virgo the vulture. I like the double V. What's that, alliteration? Peacock, nightingale, dragonfly, bee. I think I skipped it. There we go. Guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. The intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or a tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, this card means clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, it is dramatic and aggressive. To bring it into balance, clean your space with sage. All right, Virgo, thanks for joining me here today. I'm trying to grow my channel this year, so if you could hit that like button, that would be tremendous. Show your support, show your energy. Leave a comment if you so desire, leave an emoji, anything that would help me gain traction on YouTube. I would appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up to this reading. I'm sending you all my best, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys. Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your tarot reading. Welcome to my tarot channel. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something or better yourself. If the messages that come through don't resonate for you, please do push them aside. Assume they're going out to someone else who needs to hear them. You may want to revisit them at a later time or date. Sometimes messages make more sense in the future. And do remember, you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. We're setting the intention to get Sagittarius some very helpful, clear, insightful messages. All right, here we go. Sagittarius, what's up, guys? How you doing? All right, what's going on in the past for Sagittarius? Love in the past. All right, and what is the current impacts of this love? What is the current impacts of the situation or some sort of connection, collaboration? Wanting to build with them. All right, I like this so far, Sagittarius. Let's see. What's up going on in the emotional section for Sagittarius? How are they feeling about this specifically in their heart space, their intuition, their feelings, all the feels? What's going on with this? Ooh, all right. So feeling a little bit disappointed. I don't know. It maybe someone didn't want to build with you, or that there wasn't it could have been like unrequited, or it's possible. Maybe you're still with this person or already with this person. It's possible there's some healing energy that needs to take place. Maybe there was a miscommunication. I mean, the first two cards are very strong, but in the healing sector, something isn't quite right. You know, it's a Libra card, so it's saying something isn't quite in balance here. So, you know, Libra ultimately wants to harmonize. It wants to relate, you know, it wants to make those connections. And, you know, it's the sign of love, right? It's ruled by Venus. Libra is all about long-term contracts and partnerships. So we might just need to fix something. We might just need to revisit something, have a conversation, zhuzh it up, and get some healing energy back. I'm here for it. All right, can I get one more card on that? Let's see. Can I get one more card on why the Three of Swords? Yeah, you need to have a conversation about healing, or possibly something that this person did or said that kind of hurt you, or vice versa. I mean, I suppose. But I don't know. This is your reading, so I'm going to go with this is what you're needing and what you're feeling. Again, two cards of Libra. Let's harmonize this. Let's have a peace offering, what do you call it? Like a peace offering, like a peace agreement. We have to like settle something that's thrown us off our balance. That's thrown us off kilter here. So in terms of Sagittarius's plans, their ambition, what's going on in the mental sector for Sagittarius regarding this reading? I do think you're welcoming in communication. You're feeling like a conversation is on the horizon. So what's going on in the mental sector? Yeah, I love it, Sagittarius. So it's like you do see this as something positive. You do see this as something that can be healed. There could be a conversation that needs to be had about children. There could be some hesitation. And this, there's going to be a lot of different stories out there, but I'm just giving you some examples. There could be some sort of connection that is strong and you're wanting to build. But when the topic of children comes up, it could be that there's a lot of fear and anxiety surrounding that. Maybe because, one or both of you isn't all in about the subject of children. That's possible. If it doesn't have to do with children, it's sort of about this feeling like there's a very positive and strong connection here, a very healthy one that's fun, one that's adventurous, one that honors your own inner spirit, right? Something that makes you feel warm and excited, but I'm hearing the word courage. Something that it maybe forces you a little bit out of your comfort zone in order to embrace like the wholeness of what this relationship offers. And when I say the word wholeness, I mean, I think we both, two people need to come into this relationship as a whole person, on their own, individually strong, right? Knowing who they are and what they want. And that way, when you break bread with this person, it's like, power couple 2024, that kind of thing. But I don't know. It's like there's something. Yeah, I don't know why I went off on that tangent. It felt like I needed to, but now I lost myself in it. So whatever. Ramble. You might be thinking about a Leo. I think you might just be thinking about this person and how it's like, I'm not sure if they said something that offended you, but even at the same time, it's not complicated, but it's complicated in the sense that something isn't right here, but also when you think about this and envision it, it makes you feel elated. It makes you feel like sunshine. It brings about feelings of joy and happiness and freedom. There's like an ease and a like, life isn't that bad anymore when I'm with this person or whatever. Like there's something about a healing vibe to the sun. So what is holding Sagittarius back in this relationship? What is holding Sagittarius back? Okay, so for some of you, because there's some threes, it could be that you're in love with a person who isn't available. That's a possibility. It could be that you feel like they flirt with you and you were like, oh my God, I'm going to make a move on them. And then you discovered that like, oh, they're actually, in a contract with someone else. But it doesn't take away the fact that when you think about them, there's still a lot of joy there. But so here's the thing. It might not be that they're in a committed relationship. I'm not sure. Again, it might vary a little bit. But with the Queen of Swords, it's like emotionally, that one of these three people kind of has to be on the chopping block. And so maybe you're wondering, like, are they going to choose me? That's another option coming through here as well. So what is holding Sagittarius back, please? What is holding Sagittarius back? I'm hearing second thoughts. Pride, for one thing. When the Six of Wands comes out, which is a tremendous card, it's like riding the high. It's like a lot of eyes and a lot of attention on you. Feeling admired, feeling worthy, feeling... it's like peacocking energy, right? Again, it's like a high vibrational card, but like Leo energy. It's like I'm the star, I'm the entertainer. Like, any fire sign, really. It's like naturally garners a lot of attention and wins. And, people look at you and are swooning, Sagittarius, right? But when that's coming up in the what's holding you back, it can sometimes be pride, ego, that saying like being up on your high horse. Also, it's funny because I said the word stepping forward and maybe approaching this person to have a very truthful, real, honest conversation. Maybe this is you being quite vulnerable, worried about fear, worried about being rejected, Maybe nothing has gone wrong yet, but in your feelings, you're not feeling confident in expressing your truth and telling this person like, hey, like, I think the sun shines out of your butt. Like, I think you're amazing, but you don't know if that's going to be reciprocated or not. That could be what this is too. So I'm wondering if this is coming up in the what's holding you back. Maybe you're still finding that confidence. Maybe you're still finding that courage to come forward and actually ask for what you want. Because I'm always going to pose the question too, do you actually think you deserve it? And you should. I'm hoping you think you deserve it. But that's like, excuse me. Throat chakra stuff. Interesting with the Queen of Swords. It's like manifesting in me. That's a loaded question. Do we think we deserve it? On the surface, it's like, yeah, sure, I deserve it. But really, do you? Are you holding on to long-held wounds or trauma or something from your childhood that makes you question if you actually deserve this? Just posing the question. I know I'm getting a little deep on you, Sag, but that's how I do. That's how I do with the teacup. All right, what else is holding them back? I do think it's pride. I do think it's ego for some of you. Also, I think this is a huge card of competition. The thing is, like, the Six of Wands, it's like, you smoked the competition, but do you know that? Do you feel that? Are you worried that someone? I think that's what this is. I think you're worried that someone else has beat you to it. I hope this is resonating for some of you. There's a couple different storylines I see here, so I think I got to try and be more broad and general. But yeah, the competitor spirit. But here's the thing, Sagittarius, you're like a knock 'em dead competitor. You don't do it in a savage way, right? But it is kind of like this, you know. What is that like that gets like? And but I'm almost wanting to say for you, it's like the idea that everything will work out the way it's supposed to. When you have that mindset, it's funny. You manifest that, right? Sagittarians are known to be a really lucky sign. And I know some of you are watching this going, ugh, I roll like I'm not that lucky. I don't know though. I don't know. I mean, I'm really liking a couple of these cards. Yeah, I think some of you are still finding the courage to step forward and have the truthful conversation. And I don't know if you're already with this person. It could be that you're initiating something. Libra energy initiates relationships, right? In order to proclaim, I feel elated when I'm with you. This makes me so happy. I want to be with you. I want to have fun. I want to go on adventures. It could be initiating a conversation. It could be someone you work with, right? With the Three of Pentacles, or someone you kind of see and they're in your life, but maybe you haven't really had that heart-to-heart conversation. Others of you, it could be some sort of sticky point in a relationship where when you talk about this thing, it just, like the mood of the room kind of changes. And ultimately, like, you want to heal this, you want to shed light upon it and maybe let this person in on how you're feeling and what you're thinking. But I don't know, it just seems like it takes a little bit of bravery or courage for you to do so. Or again, I think some of you are worried, is this person even available? Like, am I going to roll the dice and ask them out or whatever? Of course, roll the dice, Sagittarius. But I'm always going to tell you that, right? Life is short. All right, let's see. What will help Sagittarius move forward? In all seriousness, what is the best action plan or course of action? How does Sagittarius find the willpower to move forward with whatever they want? What do they need to embrace? What is their advice or action card? What is advice or action for Sagittarius in this spread? Speak your truth. Speak your truth, shine your light. You know, you are a fire sign, right? Fire signs emit light. They share their warmth with others, right? So if this is just a matter of, will I be rejected? Well, you don't know. There are no guarantees, but here's the thing. I don't think you're ever going to look back and regret the things you did. I think you're going to look back and regret the things you didn't do, because then you're never going to know. And I think your feelings are going to be stuck in this place of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? This is absolutely, hold your head high, be bold, be brave, be courageous, put it out there, like, love me or hate me, this is who I am. It's very powerful. The Ace of Wands is a blessing. Again, like we talked about luck and blessings and Wheel of Fortune vibes, right? Or maybe we didn't, but Jupiter energy, that's your ruling planet, Sag. This is like, say what you got to say. I love the Ace of Wands. It's the ultimate card of action. It's like the most, there's a word I'm looking for. Initial. I'm hearing things like that. It's like that spark, the initiation. It's like lighting the match, and then it has that little like, whoosh. You know what I mean? Especially, like, I always get this metaphor with the Ace of Wands. It's like when you take a match and light another match, there's that like instant like, you know, that like that spark, like it literally feels kind of like magical. It's that reaction, right? And so maybe that's what this is saying. Maybe the chemistry here or the reaction is actually going to be far better than you're anticipating, but like you're anticipating like worst case scenario. When in reality, I mean, who wouldn't be flattered to know that you like them and that you want to care for them or that you want to heal this and fix this? Or I don't necessarily see apologies here. It's just something that we have to shine more light on what's going on here so that we can understand it better. That's really what I get from this. Ace of Wands, too, for those who are kind of in this, are they available? Are they not? Are they going to choose me? Yada, yada, yada. Ace of Wands stands out among the pack. I'm just saying, like, I think you have no reason not to roll the dice and see what happens here, because I think you have more of the upper hand in this than you realize. Yeah, commit to your truth, commit to what you need to express. That's a huge word with Wands: expression, initiation, what ignites you, what lights your fire, especially for my Sagittarians, right? I always say that, come on baby, light my fire, that Doors song. I feel like Jim Morrison is the ultimate Sagittarius, right? Your game plan is, what are you planning to commit to? That can be a scary word. That can be a loaded word. And so maybe you need to temper that, because I don't know if you're looking for a commitment from this person or you're just looking to see what's up and have fun. You know, either way, I think you do need to ask yourself, when the Hierophant comes up, it's like, what is the lesson attached to this for you? Like the higher lesson, like the overall, zoom out, see the forest from the trees. What is causing these feelings? What is making you think these things? I don't know. It's just like a zoom out thing, like the long term, the overall vision of it. What are you willing to commit to? I keep kind of hearing that. It's like the keys are at your or at your feet. The keys are available to you. Like, if you choose to unlock this door, are you really going to go down that path? Are you ready for that? I do think there is something about a commitment here, I gotta say. It could be something about a Taurus too. You have Taurus, Leo. We mentioned Libra a few times. Anyway. Also, the Hierophant is a huge card of spirituality, of faith, having faith that things are going to land the way they're supposed to. I keep wanting to say roll the dice, roll the dice. And again, you have to take action, but, calculated risks. What's comfortable for you? Because ultimately, you're going to have to deal with the results, not me. So don't do it because your tarot reader told you to, right? Do it because it's what's in your heart. It's what feels right. Right now, there's still some confusion or contemplation on what the feelings are, but I think you're trying to get clarity from another person who, again, it's like you see them on a pedestal. But how do you know that that's not how they're seeing you? I almost feel like I want to ask that. Yeah, in fact, you know what? We're going to side route. So whoever Sagittarius is dealing with here, what are they feeling for Sagittarius? Are they feeling anything? Do they know Sagittarius exists? What's going on here? Are they already together? What is the feelings for whoever Sag is involved with or thinking about, who's ever coming through in the spread? What are their feelings, please? Oh, well, what do you know? They love you. No, the Lovers. So the Lovers can be a complicated card. I like that it's showing up because it is a card of Gemini, and that ultimately, especially for Sagittarius rising, but metaphorically, the Lovers is kind of like your counterpart, Sagittarius, that Gemini energy, like 7th house stuff, right? So long-term partnerships and contracts. With the Lovers, there's a need to find unity in ourselves before we try and bring that unity into partnership, in an external relationship to us. There can be like an opposites attract here. It can be like someone who's very sensitive, emotional, internal, intuitive versus someone who's very like bright and bold and out there and like externalized energy. So that there can be kind of like I'm hearing shifting, like a needing to find your footing with this person. With the Lovers, there's always potential for something to come together, but it doesn't always say that it's going to be easy because there's a mountain between them, right? So like there's some stuff we got to sort through, but it doesn't mean you can't ascend that mountain together. But I almost see the Lovers, especially in this spread, as like there's potential in this relationship for you guys to grow into the best versions of yourself together, but you're not coming into this, and no one ever is, right? You're not coming into this a perfect woman or a perfect man or like the idealized version of yourself. You're coming in, I don't know, I'm hearing the word like humbled. Like there's some stuff we got to work through, but welcome to being in a relationship. Relationships are never easy all the time, right? Relationships are work. And I mean, in Capricorn season, Capricorn is all about roll up your sleeves and do the work. It'll be worth it in the end, right? Hard work breeds beautiful results. You get mastery of it at the end. But yeah, there's like some sort of crossroads of, is this worth pursuing? Is this worth exploring? But I mean, coming up in their sector, I think someone holds the world in their hand. There's a lot of potential and a lot of possibilities, but like, are we going to take action on it? Mars and Aries, the ultimate action taker, right? Mars is the planet of action, of love, of sex, of masculine power, of control, of domination. And I mean, those sounds like scary words, but I didn't mean it like that per se. But is there spark? Is there chemistry? Is there romance? Yeah, I think there probably is, but it's like we have to initiate something into like a formal action plan here. And then how does this person, if they think about Sagittarius, I don't know if you know who this is yet. I'm assuming most of you do, but when they think about Sagittarius, what do they think about? I just heard it's complicated. Yeah, they don't know what to think. It's like they're trying to trust their gut and their intuition, but they're still figuring you out. I think there's a mutual sense if you don't know where the other person stands in this relationship or on this topic. Again, Libra energy, it's like we're trying to find internal balance. I think both of you are trying to find internal balance before this like comes together, but I don't know. The Two of Swords, I think they think about you, but you don't know that because it's not being externalized. All right, moving on. Hopes and dreams and wishes for Sagittarius in the spread. You got a romance spread, Sag. Hopes and dreams and wishes. Hopes and dreams, wishes. What does Sagittarius ultimately want out of this, please? Whatever we're allowed to know at this point. What does Sagittarius want out of this? Yeah, you want things to progress in a positive direction. Of course you do. It's your tarot spread, right? If you've made it this far, you're invested in the storyline in some capacity. You want this to grow. You want this to change. You want to welcome in a positive new chapter in your life. That's what the Wheel of Fortune typically is. And the Wheel of Fortune does guarantee changes. You know, something here can't stay the same. The downside of Taurus, Taurian energy, it's fixed earth. So sometimes they're very committed to the status quo and what is. It is an earth sign, so it does denote growth. But I'm saying in a negative vibration, sometimes this person doesn't want to grow. But that's the complete opposite of the Ace of Wands. And I mean, the fact that this came out in the upright, I think that's good. But yeah, like things aren't going to be the same. You have to welcome in shifts and changes with like I say at the tarot readings, like an open heart and an open mind, desire to learn something, to grow. Like that's important, right? There could be some sort of travel plans in your future too with the Wheel of Fortune. There could be like a windfall of money or something lucky, something that feels very blessed, something that feels very divinely guided. So I think you want this person to show up for you and make you feel beautiful and valued and worthy. But FYI, you should feel that way regardless, whether or not you hear it from this person or not. Again, that has to do with like our own self-love and self-respect. But that being said, I think you want to pull out all the stops for this person too. Like, I think you want to show up and again, tell them like, I just think you're smitten, like you're swooning over this person with the Sun card, and I think you want to tell them that. I think you want to express that, and again, so kind of like the Wheel of Fortune, the luck, it's like rolling of the dice and seeing what happens here. With the Nine of Pentacles, it's like the self-made woman, the self-made man. Loyalty is like a huge word featured in this card, or however you want to say it. Loyalty to ourselves, to growing and becoming the best version of ourselves, and then again ultimately meeting that person who's going to mirror that back to you. So it's like you're on the cusp or the brink of that Ten of Pentacles, which is like sort of the fairy tale ending, the happily ever after, but I kind of see this as two single, independent, capable people meeting up and creating magic together. That's what this could be, like a commitment to new magic. And maybe it's reinvigorating a relationship that plateaued. Maybe it's like breathing some new fresh air into that fire and like rekindling the sparks and again, getting that magic back. Maybe the honeymoon phase is past and it's kind of like, ooh, like things got serious and weird and, you know, we had issues at work and we had issues with our kids and, you know, whatever it is. Maybe this is like, yeah, breathing new life back into it, you know, phoenix from the ashes. All right, so then what's the outcome here? And so I am going to underscore too, if there is third-party stuff going on, ultimately your wish, Sagittarius, is to separate, and not necessarily separate from the person, but to separate like who's single and who's not. Like I kind of need to, again, like the wheel, it's like zoom out, see the forest from the trees. I think you need clarity on who's involved with who and who's available and who isn't, who's taken, who's committed. I think there needs to be some conversation and maybe some investigating further into that. But I don't know. I mean, I think your hopes are that this person is single and ready to mingle. Like that's sort of what I get. Or I don't know if it isn't third party, if they're very committed to their job and that's sort of showing up as this challenge or obstacle. It's almost like you hope that you're going to be able to get them to have better work-life balance so that they can invest in the relationship and you guys can enjoy quality time together. So then the outcome in this spread, what is the outcome for Sagittarius if they're relating to this? What is the outcome? Messages, absolutely. Things taking off in a positive direction. Being able to, and I'm going to say move on, but move on with clarity and having a game plan, knowing what you want. And I'm going to say being on the same page as this person. So I think you have no reason not to express your truth and come forward with what you're thinking, what you're feeling, shine light on the darkness so that we can acknowledge what's really going on under the surface. But then that ultimately, it's like, it's off to the races from there. So you either get fantastic news and fantastic results and you're like, all right, let's go, baby. This is going to be great. Or you get clarity that I don't see this, to be honest. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. On the off chance this person isn't interested or isn't available or it's more complicated than that, with the outcome, it's like you still have some sort of game plan or action plan on where to go from here. You're not kind of stuck in your head or your heart and feeling kind of, so I'm sort of getting like hanged man energy, like things are delayed and there's some fog and some confusion. By doing whatever this is, expressing your truth, coming forward, shining light, readdressing the person, the conversation, breathing life back into this, traction, movement, progress, liberation. It feels really good. You know, those are the arrows that are sprung from like the Sagittarian bow, right? Like, again, opportunities to travel and go see this person, possibly for some of you. Going on a second honeymoon, you know, going on some sort of vacation where you can, again, like rekindle the magic. Yeah, conversations that are illuminating and enlightening and absolutely serve you in the capacity of that you just have more clarity on where you're going to go with this person, with or without this person. But I mean, your cards are so positive. I really like this. Yeah, and there's like a positive, like we had some messy Libra energy, right? Like the imbalance. And then this technically is a card of Taurus, but you know, also ruled by Venus, the planet that wants harmony and love and relationships to relate, to balance, to compromise, right? We have a Taurian version of it. It's Moon in Taurus. So it's like that desire to nurture, it's reciprocated. They're like both are there. All right, let's get you an angel number oracle, something you can look for confirmations from spirit that you're on the right path. Look for it on license plates, on receipts, on phone numbers, on mailboxes, I don't know, whatever. For Sagittarius, what is a magic number they need to see right now? Ooh, 23. I am adventurous. You have a zest for life and you are eager to experience anything and everything possible. You love change and excitement and need both to feel truly alive. I like that. For you, life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest. 2 and 3 make 5. 5s are all about shifts and changes. And Sagittarius, you already succeeded in this tarot reading because you don't have any of like the complicated, messy 5s and 7s and all the ones that you're like, oh dear, what's going on here? You just have a little bit of like, ooh, we got a little bit of healing to do. Like something, what is a good word? It's like there's like a needling. Something is nagging at you and it's like, ooh, I have to address this. I have to fix it or else it's going to continue to bother me. So, and then like, look, you fix it and it's fine. I don't know if this is like third party stuff. That's the message I'm getting the least. Some of you, it's like you're under the impression that this person is taken or single or messaging someone behind your back. For most of you, I do not think that is the case. I just don't. I don't see it. I only mention it because of the 3 stuff, but I think this is progress. I think it's like we go from the 2 of Cups, you know, romance, dating, connecting to wanting to build something together, moving in together, you know, doing a more formal earthy thing, you know, and then maybe discussing marriage contracts, right? Maybe there was a little bit of what you sensed was hesitation, or maybe there's hesitation on your part, but I don't know. It's like your action plan is, are you ready to commit to this in the long term? Because it could really go places. All right, here we go. Last but not least, Animal Spirit Oracle card for Sagittarius. What is something that would be helpful for them to hear regarding this message? 1 card, please. That came out. All right. The peacock. Didn't we say the peacocking? Being on display, putting on a show. Peacocking. Let's see. There it is. I opened right to it. Oh, inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. Interesting. That's important, you guys. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. When in balance, it is confident and kind. That feels very sun energy to me. When out of balance, it cannot, quote unquote, digest situations. To bring it into balance, meditation on navel. I don't really know what that means. Can you meditate on the navel? I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you. I also think there may be this confusion that this person is mad at you or holds a grudge. And I mean, that to me says, no, you're good. Like, you got smooth sailing. Like, go do with this what you will. I think the universe is like, the door is open, or, you know, maybe the door is locked, but the key is at your feet. Like, you have access to however you want to do this. Like if you want to go through that door, if you want to pursue it, it's like go, my child. Like you have the blessing to do it. You're stopping yourself. Your emotions, your vulnerabilities, the feeling sensation is what's stopping you. Is it fear of being rejected? I don't know. Whatever. All right, zodiac signs that are coming out in this reading. Aquarius, Cancer, and Aries. We'll roll one more. Anybody else? And Leo. There's your Leo. I knew it. All right, Sag, that's what I got for you. Please remember to like the video, guys. That really does help me. I'm trying to gain traction on YouTube. I really want to grow my channel this year. So if you could leave a comment, leave an emoji, subscribe to my channel, like the video, whatever you can do, I would appreciate it. Thank you for showing up for me, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to my tarot channel. Welcome to your tarot reading. Please come into this tarot reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please do push them aside. Assume they're going out to someone else, and they may resonate for you at a future time or date. So again, just be open to that. Do remember you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is advice, guidance, and energy check-in. Do trust that your own intuition will separate what is meant for you and what is not. All right, Pisces, let's set the intention to get you some clear, helpful, insightful messages. There's really no timestamp or date-specific thing to this reading. It's just kind of take it or leave it. But if you've stumbled across this video, hopefully there's something in here that you can take away. All right, Pisces, what's coming up in the past for Pisces? Queen of Pentacles, all right, so possibly a money opportunity, a reassessment of values, worth. Maybe that's quite literally money and financial assessment, or it may have to do with your own self-worth, your own value, what and who you put value or place value upon. I feel like you got an offer and you're not sure if it meets your criteria or your standards. In this case, I think it's good to have high standards. It seems like there's someone interested or someone pursuing you. What is like the long-term impact of these past events? Like how is this carrying Pisces forward currently? It's a little bit of a mystery, a little bit of I'm hearing the word conundrum. Interesting. All right. Kind of loving that, Pisces. All right, let's look at this. So the long-term impacts is King of Pentacles. So I mean, that's a divine pairing, right? I mean, by element alone. The king, the queen, right? We don't necessarily have to read too much into the gender, but any sort of pairing, I mean, those two work well together, and like they lead a rich life. I'll put it that way. And I don't just mean like money. I mean like they lead a life where they attribute value to things that they find very important, and that's sort of like mirrored back, between them in the relationship. I love the King and Queen of Pentacles. Super responsible, super reliable, earthy, so super into the touchy, the feely, the sensuality of a relationship, but also know how to show up in a big way for their person. Some of you may be on the cusp of saying goodbye to like a more bachelor lifestyle. Some of you may be questioning if you're ready to give up your singlehood and actually commit to some sort of long-term partnership. Interesting. I'm kind of into this. I think some of you are questioning whether this person is, it's almost like the way they show up as a Knight of Wands. And so you might think that this is very fly-by-night, rushed, maybe a little bit concerned or questioning if you're getting love bombed, because I think a part of this is very fun and exciting to you, but it's like, your past history, you may be saying, well, there's no way this will be sustained. Like this person has too much energy, enthusiasm. They seem to really like me. I don't know why I'm getting this, but it's like the way she's looking at this coin, it's like, I don't believe you. Like this is too good to be true. But what's interesting though, is that then it kind of merges into the King of Pentacles. So whether this is you or them, I think it's them. This progresses, like it gets one-upped, it grows. It's possible you may have two suitors as well, that could be the case, but I don't know, for a lot of you, it's almost like this person is like the ultimate package. It's like they're fun and energetic and in touch with their inner child. They're spontaneous, they're creative, but they're also a very hard worker. They're very dedicated to their relationships, to their life. They wellness and health is a priority for them, earning good money and saving their pennies for a rainy day. Like they seem to have like a good head on their shoulders, but they're also like a lot of fun. Like they're the life of the party. I mean, damn, Pisces, that sounds amazing. So what are your emotions? You see potential in this. with the page, it's like it's like you're wanting to look at it a little bit closer and see it from a different perspective. I'm almost getting the idea of hangman energy. I think you're looking for something real, though. I think you're trying to avoid games and drama. I think you're trying to minimize contact with people who seem flighty or inconsistent. And so maybe at one point in time, this person was inconsistent. Maybe they did come and go in your life, but I don't know. I just get the impression that they're kind of showing up in a bigger way, and maybe they were casually dating at the time that you met and you liked them and it didn't work out for some reason, but I don't know. It's almost like they may be revisiting this to be showing up in a new, bigger, better way. I'm just putting it out there. Some of you are possibly thinking about marriage, contemplating marriage with this. It's like the proposal, the golden offer. Tell me one more thing. In Pisces emotions, why the Page of Pentacles? If you may be contemplating or thinking about children, especially if you already have them, children from a previous marriage, maybe this person has children, the idea of having a family, it's sort of like, do I see qualities in them that could be a good family man or a family woman or, mom, dad vibes? Even if that's not necessarily something that you want immediately, it's like you're asking the bigger questions. Like, what would it look like if you put a child in front of this person? Would they be a nurturer? Would they be, tender? Would they be heartfelt? That kind of thing. I mean, I think they would. King of Pentacles. Yeah, but in your emotions, it's like there's a lot of fear coming into this. I'm sort of getting this idea of not wanting to be fooled or tricked. Hesitating because you are replaying maybe some past narratives of things that have happened. I can't really tell if this is new, though. Like, is it fear that this person is going to repeat what they already did to you? Like, is it that type of scenario where they truly were the Knight of Wands and it was like, hit it and quit it, playboy energy, kind of like F-boy energy? Like, that can be Knight of Wands. But then if it turns into King of Pentacles, it's like, well, are they a changed person? I mean, I don't want to shoot for the stars here and not deliver, but I don't know. I kind of like this vibe so far. So I guess I would ask you, Pisces, are you replaying past trauma, like the emotions we store and hold on to, in terms of other relationships that have played out in your life, and it's sort of jumping to the conclusion and assuming that this is too good to be true because it never works out? For some of you, that feels kind of raw and real, that message. This person may also, this is not for most everybody, there's a very small message here, but this person may have trouble with the law. Like, there could be some sort of, I don't know. So sometimes like the eight of swords can literally be like jail time or having to serve time or do community service, or I don't know, maybe they stole something once and got caught, or I don't know. And again, that was probably in their youth when they were a little bit more rambunctious and rebellious, but it's like whatever they were rebelling against, they almost became it. That can be very Capricorn energy too. Like Capricorn, we're in Capricorn season now, but I've read that a lot about Capricorns. They can be very, I don't know why I'm mentioning this other than it feels like right to say. Capricorns can be like very rebellious in their youth, and then they end up, growing into like these stand-up little gentlemen and women and like, perfect members of society. But a lot of times they come from a place where it's just like craziness, right? Anyway, moving on. All right, for Pisces, what is their game plan or what's going on in their mental sector really with this person? Like, their feelings are conflicted. They want it, but it's too good to be true, and like they're hesitant to reach out and accept the offer because it's like they don't want to be fooled. I'm hearing the sleight of hand. It's like, it feels like a card trick. Like you're waiting for the big reveal to be like, haha, just kidding. I don't think that's the case though. I think you're right to be cautious, but I would say with the Knight of Wands, cautiously optimistic. What's going on in the mental sector for Pisces, please? The mental sector? You gotta chill. You gotta chill, boo. I think you think about this person a lot. They may have even shown up in your dreams. I'm getting very conflicted messages too, so I don't know if I'm tapping into multiple storylines here, but part of me is like there's a calm and a peace that this person brings you. Like when you think about it, it kind of makes you sigh and you kind of go into this dreamy like, oh my gosh, could it be Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, or are we actually going to build something of substance together? But then in the emotions, it's like not reaching out or not wanting to. I don't know. This is really throwing me off. I mean, there is an offer here. Is it an apology? Is that what you're waiting for? Are you feeling guilty about something? Are they feeling guilty about something? The Page of Cups, like, it's sweet and it's cute and it's innocent. I think you may have gotten this last time, but I always say with the Page of Cups, like, they're trying their best. They don't always deliver. They don't always meet the mark. They don't always hit the high expectations of others. And that was a message that came out earlier. But it's like they're showing up and like they're putting on their best outfit for you. And then when you look at it, it's like you look ridiculous. But it's sort of that idea of like, but I know you're trying, and so I'm going to acknowledge that. Mentally, Pisces, with the four of this is a card of mental rest. It's a card of relaxation and unplugging. For some of you, you may have already gotten a message and you're choosing not to respond immediately because you're sort of sorting it through. Again, there's a message here too that some of you, it's like you've met Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, like they're in your life currently and they're showing up in a really high vibration, and you're like, is this the end of a chapter though of serial dating? Or is this the end of my chapter of being, you know, on the market and being able to like come and go as I please and date whoever I want and not be loyal and committed? Because here's the thing, with this offer coming in, it would require absolute loyalty. With the King and Queen of Pentacles, like, they don't have wandering eyes. They want to build their kingdom and their castle together, and that's that. Like, so any third party shit, it's like, see yourself out. And I'm not necessarily saying there's third party stuff per se, but this could be sort of saying goodbye to, like, again, a more youthful attitude about love and relationships, knowing that if you go in on this, like, this is the big deal. This is the big ticket. And maybe some of you are wanting to make an offer and you're worried about how it's going to land. I was going to say, there's something going on here and I am not getting clarity on what it is. So if you're watching this, hopefully it's making sense to you. I'm going to keep going because maybe the message will be made clearer. One more card of, I think you guys both think about each other. In the mental sector, why? Thank you. The Ace of Cups. Yeah, someone's thinking of making an offer, or they've already made an offer and now they're waiting to see how this person responds to it. Somebody could have shot you kind of like an emotional text where they bared their soul a little bit, and it's almost like you were expecting like a dirty picture, or you were expecting some sort of like, again, just like a random text, like, hey, what's up? How you doing, Pisces? And instead it's like, hey, Pisces, like, I just want you to know, you're the best thing that's happened to me in a long time, and I just want you to know how great you are. It's like the complete opposite of what you were expecting. And I think part of you, it's like you're nervous to get your hopes up and emotionally invest in this person without clarity of like, well, what do they actually want? Like, again, I'm hearing like a magic trick or like a sleight of hand. It's like you think you're being fooled. And I don't think you are, Pisces. Like, the King and Queen of Pentacles, they don't F around. All right, anyway. I just heard I Want You, that Beatles song. I want you so bad, it's driving me mad. I just heard that. All right, what is holding Pisces back here? Or what is holding the situation back, if anything? What is like that devil energy? What is holding them back that they need to release or become aware of? What's going to help them move forward? Yeah, things that have let you down in the past. The realization that you did invest in something or someone, a situation where it completely defied your expectations, and not in a good way. Something that really humbled you and took the chip off your shoulder or brought you down to your knees. A painful experience, right? And that's what's holding you back. So this says to me, like, the Ten of Swords is over and done with. There may still be some lingering pain or lingering baggage from someone who it feels like they screwed you over, especially someone that you had committed to previously. I don't know if you were married or in a long-term relationship, or you were thinking it was going to go that way and it didn't. The Ten of Swords is like Sun in Gemini. So the realization of some important truth or some important information that, just about broke us. But again, with acknowledgement, I think you would see like, well, it was never meant for you then. Like, the right person would never make you go through this and treat you like that, It's almost like I'm hearing square peg, round hole. It's like you were trying to fit something that didn't work. And maybe there was kind of this naive, like, not wanting to look at the truth or not wanting to like address the elephant in the situation. For some of you, it was you didn't respect yourself, or you didn't have enough self-esteem at the time to be able to say no to certain people, or to establish some sort of healthy boundary, and so somebody trampled right over it and broke your heart, right? And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but I actually like that this is coming up here, because what's holding you back is you. the memories and the situations, again, the narrative of something that happened in the past that it took you down. It took you down for the count a little bit, but this isn't your story anymore, but you're still living like it is. I think there's a beautiful opportunity and a beautiful blessing here, but you're denying yourself the opportunity to even pursue it or to see it or progress it to the next level. Yeah, some of you may have gotten out of a really bad marriage, or metaphorically something of the sort, where, yeah, it felt like you got stabbed in the back. You may have dealt with someone who cheated on you, who was an F-boy, or, you know what I mean, was a player type energy, someone who had wandering eyes, and rightfully so, your defenses are up a little bit, but it's almost like for this person, you're treating them as like guilty until proven innocent, when really it should be the opposite. Because now you know what to look for, right? Now you know the red flags. I mean, it's so easy for me to say this. I don't mean to sound unsympathetic, but it's like your wounds are your wisdom. You had to go through this in order to be the person you are today. And now you're much more aware. You're much more alert. You're much more guarded and protective of your energy. But really, it's not about being guarded. It's about recognizing what you deserve and absolutely having high standards. That's important. But here's the thing. If the King of Pentacles is showing up, like, they have high standards too. So the fact that they're interested in you, again, male or female, like, they think you're pretty damn cool, Pisces. So what will help Pisces move forward in this situation? How will they find their willpower? How do they move forward? What action should they take? What do they need to embrace? This is a new start. Freedom, baby. You need to take a leap of faith. And again, like, you're accountable for all your actions here, but I would say take a calculated risk. What if everything works out perfectly? What if? I think I said the same thing to Scorpio, so some of you might be dealing with that, or you may have Scorpio in your chart. Oh, actually, a lot of my good Pisces friends do have Scorpio in their chart. That's funny. I didn't even make that connection until now, but the Fool, it's like, it's pure, it's innocent, it's untainted, it's very youthful, childlike energy. So I get that there is an element here of honoring the inner child and being kind of spontaneous and fun and quirky and dynamic and creative. But like, I think that's what this spread is saying is like, yeah, it's going to be fun and exciting. It's not going to be this mundane, you know, we work 9 to 5 office jobs, we come home and watch Jeopardy, and then we go to bed, and we do that for 50 years of our life, right? No, it's like, we're going to book a trip to Rome. We're going to, you know, book a trip to Spain. We're, you know, whatever. We're going to go on fun adventures. We're going to go to Disneyland, and then, you know, we're going to go to the movies or whatever. It doesn't have to be spending money or going particular destinations, but there's an element of surprise to this, that it's going to shake up your life in a fun way. I think especially if you guys have been in a rut. And living a life that is very like Truman Show, or maybe that's not the right reference, like doing the same thing every single day. This is different, and I think it's a much needed wake up call that like, you have a life to live. Rather than marrying yourself to a certain fate or a certain outcome or a certain lot in life, this person is offering you an opportunity. And like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm hearing like it's your ticket out. It's your ticket out of whatever this is, in order to embrace, you know, who you are, your individuality, your uniqueness, your quirkiness. It's not something you have to be ashamed of or hide. It's something this person loves about you, like easily and effortlessly. You just have to show up and be you, and this person is like kissing the ground you walk upon. I'm saying it, Pisces. Like, the stuff is here. You're the one who's second guessing it, or again, like this self-sabotaging, well, it's only a matter of time before they find out about X, Y, and Z, and then they're going to leave me just like everybody else did. Stop doing that. Like I'm going to be super blunt with you. Cut that shit out. Like, if you're wondering and like, why am I not manifesting love, hopeless romantic? This is why. It's that exact reason. Like, that fear mentality of everyone's out to get me, or like, and that's the thing. I love me, my Pisces. I got strong Pisces placements too, but like, we can fall into that victimhood of like, it's me against the world. And, you know, again, like falling into, I have a terrible lot in life and this is always the case. It's like, what if it isn't? What if the universe is like, no, you've been through some shit, and I acknowledge that, you know, I'm going to give you what you want, but I had to make you strong. You're strong now. You can have this, but you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to materialize, or you're going to miss out on an opportunity that could have been really good for you. And here's the thing, FYI, you're never going to miss out on it, but you know, the timeline may not aligned for you if you're not ready to receive this gift, in which case the universe will be like, okay, I'll give them a year and then I'll come back with this great offer. You know, like it's that type of, you know, if you need to be ready to receive it. And hopefully you are. I think in time you're going to warm up to the idea that like this person does actually like communicate with me a lot. And they sent me that really amazing message where they just completely told me like how blown away they are by me, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, I really like this. Please don't screw this up, Pisces. Don't screw it up for yourself. You deserve something good. Obviously, I know this message isn't for everybody. I am showering you with love because I think that's what this reading is doing, but I'm also giving you tough love. I always have to give you guys tough love, right? That's how I do my channel. It's not just Pisces. I give everybody tough love. I keep this on my tarot table because that's how I run the show here. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. We have to be challenged to grow to the best version of ourselves. And that never stops. Like, we're always developing, right? We're always evolving. We're always growing. All right, here we go. What does Pisces want from this? What is their hopes, their dreams, their wishes regarding this scenario, this person? You want to move forward with them. You want progress. You want to move from rocky waters to smooth sailing. Sixes are about progress. You want to move forward and have more clear communication and a clearer vision and idea of what life would look like with this person. Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's a Mercury card. It's Mercury in Aquarius. So I don't know why I like unusual conversations that maybe are not triggered. That's not the right word. Catalyst or initiated from sort of this outpouring of emotions that it kind of leaves you at a crossroads. Like, again, like it's the same thing. It's like something has landed in this guy's hand the way this has landed in her lap. Like, you didn't even have to really work for this. It's like this person comes around to find you and you're like, okay, well, I guess it's my turn. And like, in terms of like, it's my turn to communicate back, and you're a little bit baffled by it. But here's the thing. I think you want this. I think you've earned it. And I don't know if that's the right way of phrasing it, you know? Like, I'm a big supporter of self-empowerment and being a whole person on our own, not seeking, like, our quote-unquote other half. Like, I get it, that's a cute expression, but, like, you know this. Like, you gotta be good. You are the person who supplies your life with happiness. Everything else is just, you know, fluff or not fluff, but, like, everything else is just great. Like, it's bells and whistles, but you didn't need it, right? I don't know, this seems really good. Messages coming in, and it's sexy, and it's flirty, and it's hot, and it's passionate. It inspires you, it lights you up, it's warm, there's sustenance, it's nutritious, that's not the word I'm trying to say. What is the word? What is the word I'm looking for? Sustenance, I do like that word, but you get something out of it that is enriching, it's good for you. And what is the outcome here? I think your outcome is communication and a little bit of a spark, a little bit of magic. What is the outcome here for Pisces, please? What is the outcome here? In this scenario, in this storyline, what is the outcome? Yeah, messages going back and forth, a lot of communication. For some of you, this person may live at a distance and they may reach out to come and visit you. It doesn't have to be like another country, though it absolutely could be with the Eight of Wands. But this is fast, quick, decisive action. People saying what they're going to do and then doing it. Yeah, there could be, maybe you guys decide to take a little trip together, you know, a weekend getaway. Maybe this person does live at a distance and they're messaging you and emailing you, and there's a lot of, like, you know, long distant conversations happening. But I do think there's going to be a game plan to make plans to go see each other and actually meet up in person. It might be with a Virgo. There's a lot of wisdom to be gained by how this person communicates, and I'm sort of getting it doesn't always translate in person when they first meet you, because perhaps they're a little bit guarded, or they're a little bit nervous, or the opposite. They could be like an overshare and they kind of overdo it to make up for this sort of shaky confidence, but you might not even know it because they enter a room just like, hey guys, what's up? The party is here. Like they kind of have a bro-y vibe, if that makes any sense. But if you peel back the layers there, they actually have like an insane heart, like a beautiful heart, an insane amount of compassion, empathy. Like they're an emotional, sensitive soul. And okay, they might be an oversharer in some capacity. I could see that, but again, you got to choose your battles, right? No one's perfect. Coming out, okay, this is important too with the Hermit. Coming out of a period of silence or a period of wait if the outcome is that they've already messaged you and you're contemplating, you may reach back out after not going dark on them or ghosting per se, but with the Hermit, it's like you've been in a period of silence. And so messages start up again out of, when it's like just when we think it's gone cold, it's like we turn the heat back up and then it's off and running again. Or vice versa. Again, if this person exited your life, I don't know. And maybe that's possible. Again, this person may be coming back around because they got a taste of something they liked and they weren't anticipating that they wanted to build a future with you, and now they're like, that's all they can think about. They may reach out to you as well after you assume that they were out of your life. I love this, Pisces. I can't wait to tell my Pisces friends to watch this. I hope it comes true. I don't know why I'm still shuffling. Because you needed to see the happiness, the potential, huge potential for growth, for happiness, for freedom, for liberation. Liberation from this, specifically. A lack mindset, or trying to manifest from a place of lack or a place of fear. Starfish, interesting. Some of you, it's like, I'm too clingy. Nobody likes me because I'm too clingy. I'm always too much for someone. Not for this person. I've been saying this to every sign. It's like, you're never going to say the wrong thing to the right person. You're never going to be too much for the right person. I think this person thinks the sun shines out of your butt. Like, they think you're amazing and awesome. And the thing is, I think you kind of at one point in time saw them that way, or the more you think about it, you can actually see a future with them. But are you afraid to admit it? Or I don't know. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, you tell me. Let me know in the comments below if this resonates. Although I feel like it's insanely personal, so that's all right. I might get crickets in the comments, but you know what? Like the video. That helps. Trying to grow this channel, gonna gain traction on YouTube this year, so anything you can do to help me out would be great. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, claim it if it's yours. One last oracle card for Pisces. What would be helpful for them to hear? An animal spirit. That came right out. Ooh, I love the elephant. I love it. This is about wisdom. Let's read from the book. Elephant. Lizard, scorpion. Whoops, I passed it. Oh, fire ants. Oops. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. I just watched The Wizard of Oz the other day, actually. I love that one. All right, here we go. Elephant. Unstoppable. Are you guys hearing that? Unstoppable. Auspicious and wise. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom as well as good fortune. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles, so if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured that the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. That's probably what this was. Trust the gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with light and self-knowledge. When this card is in balance, it means one-pointed focus, generous and loving. When out of balance, it means misunderstands its fate. To bring it into balance, you must practice trust. Pisces, you crushed it on this reading. I hope it's your story. And if it's not, when the energy comes out in the cards, I always say it's available for you to take advantage of. So if you want to manifest this in your life, if there's no evidence of it right now, make it yours. Like, for realsies, it's available to you. So anyway, I hope I gave you enough tough love and didn't scare you away. But like, I'm rooting for you. Like, I want this to come in for you so bad. And I hope you do too, because this feels like a kick-ass connection with like mutual respect, good loyalty, and it seems fun, it seems exciting, it seems adventurous, and it seems like there's deep emotional connection and all the things, all the good things. Oh, I didn't roll the dice. That's what you need to do. You need to roll the dice on this person, Pisces. You do have Virgo, Leo, Aquarius, any of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Those are just some of the signs coming out. Anything else the spirit wants to add? Let's see. So you have Scorpio, Aries, and Aries. Damn, Pisces, with that Mars energy. Holy Mars. All right, so we'll keep a Scorpio, we'll keep an Aries. Anything else? That might be like a double sign, like they may be like an Aries sun, Aries rising or something. Scorpio again and Scorpio again. Triple Scorpio? We better tell the Scorpio gang to watch this reading, huh? Any other signs that want to show up? Cancer and Pisces. All right, we'll take it. And in fact, all the water signs, I believe. I know Scorpio did, but I'm pretty sure all the water signs kind of had love readings that were similar to this. It's like one person's all hesitant and in their feels and they're worried and blah, blah, blah. And that's like, yeah, you guys are made for each other. This is beautiful. All right, Pisces, I'll see you soon.